Microsoft Entra has a number of authentication methods. And in this video, we're going to look at what you can do with these authentication methods and dig a little bit into self-service password reset. This sort of view shows you all of the different authentication methods that you have. Now, right at the bottom, you have the auth methods that you can only use for sign-in. So there are only two auth methods that fit into this, which is the username and password. That's the first one. Then you have SMS sign-in, which I'll do a different video that walks into SMS sign-in. So these are ones where it's what we call the first factor auth. And that's what you do to do the initial sign-in. Next, if you apply MFA, then you have a number of other authentication methods that come into play. Now, there are two authentication methods today that are MFA only. So they cannot be used for a self-service password reset, for example. One of that is Authenticator Lite. So today in Outlook, there is a light version of Authenticator built in. And if you enable that feature, your users can do MFA approvals without having to install the Authenticator app. So that's part of Outlook. It's built into Outlook at the moment. Then we have another feature that's in preview right now. And while it's in preview, at the time of this video being recorded, the external authentication method, which lets you, integrate with third-party identity providers that are non-Microsoft, for example, RSA, Cisco Duo, Silverfort, they all fall into the external authentication method flow. And today, you can only use them for MFA. Next, we come to primary auth plus MFA. Now, this group of auth methods, they combine everything together. So you don't need to type in a username or password. You don't need to type any of these in. You can just use one of them and they satisfy the criteria for multi-factor authentication. And the criteria for multi-factor authentication is that it is something you know, something you have, or something you are, right? Which means something you know could be, your PIN when you're using a passkey. Something you have could be the passkey device that you have. For example, I have a passkey device here, or it is something you are, which could be when you're using Hello for Business, it could be your fingerprint or you're scanning your face, right? So these auth methods are what we call passwordless auth methods, and they let you just get in without having to do multiple steps to do the authentication. So these are unique because you can use them to do the authentication and MFA, but right now, as it stands with Entra ID, you cannot use them for doing a self-service password reset. Then you have the fourth category, which is auth methods which you combine with the primary auth, like a username password, and then you do an MFA, which is SMS, or using a voice call, or hardware token, or a software token, which is on the app, or using the number match on Authenticator app. Right now, these can be used with the self-service password reset feature today by combining with MFA, right? You can get to that. And finally, we come to the Authenticator passkey, which is the Microsoft Authenticator app with the new passkey feature. If you use that, you can do all of these three things together.